Hi everyone, and good evening once again. Welcome to the webinar. I'm really glad that all of you have, showed interest and joined in the webinar early today, which shows that everyone is open and excited to learning. I am Harsha Agarwal. As you all might already know, I have taken other webinars with you as well. I'm doing well today, so my voice is also better. So I hope that that is an added advantage of today. Hi Seema ji, hi Kanchan ji, hi Manjinder ji. Hi everyone. Good evening. So how was your day today? How was your day and what's up? What's up with everyone? How is everyone doing? Any updates, or regarding schools, regarding classes anyone wants to give? Please go ahead and you can just tell me the same. Anything from anybody's end. And yes, if you haven't dropped any messages in your WhatsApp group or to your colleagues, please do so. I would be really glad, because everybody can get the advantage of the particular webinar, right? And more teachers can join and interact the same. More teachers join, there are more ideas, more discussions, and so on and so forth. What about the others? Good evening, everyone. Are you there in the webinar and are you listening? And how were the previous webinars and any points for improvement? Till then we can discuss this. Any points for improvement? Anything you want to say from your end? Any new topic you want to suggest to me? Anything from your end? Please do message me. You can just state it in the chat box. Anything, any criticisms, any suggestions, anything you want to state, please go ahead. Hi, Rashmiji. Good evening. Pleasure to have you here again. So I just wanted to ask, that what do you think about today's webinar? What we will discuss, and do you think communication is very important? As a skill, yeah, the art of communication, what we say, and as I already told in the last webinar, that I'll be having this webinar, on this particular topic. What did you think, and what did the topic made you feel? That what will you learn in today's webinar? Any views, anything, regarding the same? No, nothing. All right, it's 5:54. We'll start with 6 p.m. exactly or 6:02. We'll wait for other teachers to join. If you haven't, please drop a WhatsApp message or something, in your own groups, wherever you interact, so that everybody can join in and take the advantage of the webinar. Yeah. How to communicate communications. Yes, Seemaji, definitely, ma'am. You always have been, a star participant, of the webinars. You always have shown great participation, and that shows, the initiative which you take in whatever you do actually. That's great, Seemaji. Thank you for the response. Definitely, communication, how to communicate and things like that. Rashmi ji says communication skill is really important to express oneself. Exactly. It is important, yes. Uh, Okay. Let other people join, and we'll wait a little more time, right? We'll start with 6 p.m. Today's webinar is gonna have a lot of examples, and I'll also promise that I'll show you certain books, and I'll also suggest you the reading of some books, which will be, great for all of you, and you will enjoy those books. So yeah, those are the basic things, I'll be showing in this particular webinar. It will be very interesting, something which you can't find on Google, and there are many more things. But yes, we have to wait for 5 to 7 minutes more to start with the same, right? So we'll start by 6 p.m. I'm just turning off my camera as of now. I'll switch on it again in 3 to 4 minutes. Till then, yeah, just get ready for the webinar. And if you want to take screenshot or notes, get ready or get handy, with your tools, maybe pen, paper, laptop, phone, etc. Yeah. All right. So to whosoever has joined right now, I'll start the webinar by 6 p.m. or somewhere around 6 2 p.m. Just waiting for more teachers to join. Do drop a WhatsApp message in your groups that the webinar has started, and if they want to join, they can join in. It's free of cost, and they can, it is it is a lot of knowledge, which is gonna be imparted, in today's webinar, especially because the topic is, kind of different. It's something which is more focused on teachers, rather than student. Yeah. So again, let's see. Let's wait for the teachers, and yes, it's gonna be very very interesting. Is something I want to let you know right now. Yeah. Starting by 6 p.m. Good evening once again, everyone, and thank you so much for joining the webinar. Speaker myself is Harsha Agarwal. I've taken other webinars with the Homework App and team as well earlier. You can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. YouTube videos of the same is also recorded in the Homework App channel. You can subscribe the same or follow the same as well, right? Hi Shilpi ji, hi Archana ji, everyone. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the webinar. I'll start by 6 p.m. Yeah, and yeah, just get ready with anything you want, your notes, screenshot or pictures, whatever you want to take during the webinar, right? Good evening, everyone. Hi, Balaji. Hi. I remember you from the previous webinars. Hi, everyone. Shilpi ji, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. My throat is now better. I'm doing really fine. I hope if I just get like 1 or 2 more days, it will be really better. It will be like, back to normal again. Thank you so much for asking. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the webinar. Pleasure to have you all here. Hi, Rimpi ji. Hi, Vani ji. Hi, Sarjeet ji. Hi, Neeru ji. Hi, Jisha ji. Hi. By the way, so before we start, just a few confirmations. Hi, Pooja ji. Hello. Um, how can we join the homework app? Vani ji, during the end of the webinar, no, I'll send you a link. Okay. You fill that link with all the details. Now, what that link is, it's basically a feedback form link. So आप जब वो लिंक को फिल कर दोगे ना वानी जी, लास्ट में when you click the submit button, एक WhatsApp joining group का ना बटन आएगा. You have to click that button. The instant you click that button, automatically you will be redirected to join the group in your WhatsApp. That's all you have to do. Hi, Gurmeet ji. I'm fine. I'm fine right now. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah. Welcome, Vani ji. Welcome. Pleasure to help you. Hi, Ramohan ji. Good evening. It's 5:59. Just waiting for 2 to 3 more minutes for other teachers to join. Also, to whosoever's joined, let me tell you one thing. Today's webinar is going to be something very different. Okay. As I always tell in the beginning of every webinar, what you should expect from today's webinar and what I'm going to speak, so that you don't sit with any unrealistic expectations, that, okay, aaj ke webinar se I learned this. I don't want that. I'm very clear that this is my topic. This is what I'm going to tell you in today's webinar. So, am I not audible, other teachers? Can you just confirm once if I'm audible? Yes, Komalji. For every webinar, you have to join a WhatsApp group. That is the news from the team as of now. Audible, yeah, and clear, perfectly clear. Matlab, there's no problem in my voice, yeah. Okay, fine. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay. It's okay. It's 6 p.m. already. I'll just start with the topic until the other teachers can join, right? Um. Okay, I got a message. Okay, Priyanshu ji. Good evening, ma'am. Vice Priyanshu Kumar, collective. Priyanshu Kumar ji, I think you have posted some message which were to be posted somewhere else. So I'll just not reply anything to that. Well, good evening, everyone. Once again, it's 6 p.m. already, and we are going to start with the webinar as of now. Now, art of communication and era of holistic development is a topic for today, right? The very important thing, in the topic, is that what you should expect from today's webinar is why communication as a skill, is very, very important in our generation, right? Or in the century in which we live. इतना important क्यों है communication, right? Why communication is so important? That is the first thing you should expect. What I'll tell you in the webinar. Second thing, what you should expect is communication is important and it's a very necessary skill for everyone, student, teachers, everyone, right? But what is the art, of communication exactly? And where should I learn this art from, right? That is a very big question. Ki, okay, where should I learn this art from? Yeah. All right, somebody is annotating on the content again. I'll just stop sharing the screen and share again. I request the teachers to not do so. It disturbs the flow of the webinar, but I understand that it was a mistake. So yeah, I'll just turn off the annotation, right? So this should be your expectation, from today's webinar, that communication as a 21st century skill, right? Why it is so important, how communication skill has diversified, right? And the next expectation should be the art of communication hai kya? What is the art of communication which we are gonna learn? Right, and that is going to be very interesting because I've loads of examples, some book reviews, and many things to connect, in today's topic. So please pay a lot of attention, which slide I am on and what I'm talking about, so that you're able to connect, key, why is she speaking, what is she speaking. Otherwise, you will just, take it as a blabbering from my end, right? So yeah, well, moving ahead, just a simple message from the homework app and team, as always, is every webinar has its participation certificate, right? So any new teachers who have joined, please listen to this, very carefully. Whatever webinars you attend from the homework app and team, it has a certificate of participation of its own. This webinar is also certified. During the end of the webinar, I'll send a link for you, a form link. Fill the form, click the submit button. After you click the submit button, there will be a WhatsApp joining link, right? एक WhatsApp join का button रहेगा last में, form के ही last में रहेगा. Okay, just after you fill the form, click on the button, you will join the WhatsApp group as well. Now, what will WhatsApp group help you in? In participating in the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, what is Smart Teacher Festival? It is a group of tasks and activities which you have to do along with the homework app to win the Smart Teacher certificate and the Smart Teacher kit, which is worth rupees 1999. All right, I hope this is very clear and not wasting any more time, on the little informations, which we have. We'll move ahead with the topic. Well, communication as a very important skill, of the 21st century, right? I've just put it on, a basic definition, of what communication is. Okay. um, Communication skills allow one to understand and be understood by others. This can include, but are not limited to, effectively communicating ideas to others, actively listening to conversations, giving and receiving critical feedback, and public speaking. Communication, again, is a overall holistic approach towards how you present yourself, in a public space or in a private space, right? अगर हम communication बोलते हैं, that is not just, how I speak. Communication is not just speaking with words. There are verbal communication, but there are non-verbal communications as well. You communicate via eyes as well, right? There is visual communication which goes on, right? Communication is everything. When you go out in the market, okay, tell me, how many of you know about Burger King, or how many of you have seen outlets, of Burger King? How many of you know or have seen the outlets of Burger King? No? Burger King? No? The burger chain? Yeah, yeah, of course. Burger King, yeah, McDonald's, Burger King, all these outlets, the simple ones which everybody knows, yeah. McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. So all these outlets, what exactly very famous these days, Binduji? Exactly. I'm telling you, right? It's a proper hangout space, for college and school children. These spaces, right? So all these places, when they present any particular advertisement of theirs, right? When McD has its color, of red and yellow, when McDonald's has its color, of blue, what do you think the brands are trying to do? They're trying to communicate, right? Exactly. Pizza Hut is another, Taco Bell is another, right? So what these are trying to do, the way their ambience is, the way their packaging is, the way the brand's logo is, what are they trying to do? They're trying to communicate, what they stand for. That is also a kind for communication, right? If you do anything in life, actually everything somewhere or the other connects to communication. The way the advertisements which you see on TV, okay, agar hum washing powder Nirma ka advertisements dekh rahe hai, if you're going to the classroom and we're speaking to children about a particular topic, we're talking to our principals, we're standing and giving some kind of expressions when someone speaks something to us. What are these are communications, right? These are communications in themselves, different types of communications in different situations. So the one thing you have to clear in your mind is communication is not just speaking. It's also listening. It's also giving feedback. It's also understanding and being understood by others. That is how communication becomes a skill. Everybody can communicate, but everybody cannot communicate with skill. That is very, very important, right? Okay. Right now, what we discuss is the basic meaning definition of communication, right? To basic understanding of the same. Moving ahead, okay, some classic books and authors. Okay, so I'll just start with how communication became so important, and who were the people, who highlighted it so much. And all these pictures which you will see are not Google images. These are my own images which I have clicked on my blanket. Okay, you can see the blue blanket, that's mine. So one thing I can assure you is I'm not using anything which Google gives me straight. I'm bringing my own content, something which I've gone through, something which I've read, and something which is reliable and you can refer it to, right? The first book I'm trying to give it, or the refer, for all of you, before I move on to the crux of the topic, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. For those who doesn't know Napoleon Hill, Napoleon Hill is a classic author. This book has been there in the market since hundreds of years and has been a bestseller ever since. It has changed the lives of millions and millions of people, and you can find about this book loads of reviews, loads of comments, as and when you type it on Google. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You can see the author's face right here. And yeah, there was just one quote, which I want to show all of you, about the book, is that what the mind of a man can conceive and believe, it can achieve, is one of Hill's, hallmark expressions. So why this book? This book basically focuses that, self communication, right? The way you communicate to yourself in the right way is very, very essential. You become what you think, and you think what you speak. That is a basic agenda, of this book. Hi Neetu ji, I just saw the message right now. Okay, I'm feeling really great today. Thank you so much for asking, everyone. WhatsApp group, I'll send you a form link during the end of the webinar. From that form only, one button will be there at the end. You have to join the WhatsApp group from there. All right. Good evening once again. And right now, if anybody has joined the webinar, just giving you a basic gist of what I discussed. We discussed about communication, and then I talked about this one classic book, which relates to communication. And I also refer this to all of you to read, because these are the classic bestsellers. You should read these books which are there in the market. Okay, and these are not some fictional books. These are scientifically tested, tried, and has changed the life of millions and millions of people. That is why these books are so famous till today, right? It's still an evergreen book till, from 100 years. So yeah, this book talks about self communication, that why certain things, which people say to themselves, should be said in a certain manner, because what you think is what you speak, and what you speak becomes your attitude, and what becomes your attitude ultimately becomes your life, right? So it's very important to communicate to yourself and to others in the right manner. And this book is fantastic. Do give it a read if you have time. Another very good book I have in hand is this, The Silk Roads. Okay. The Silk Roads by Peter Frankopan. Again, these images are not Google images. I read these books myself and I refer from my own end, right? So Peter Frankopan is actually another great author who writes about the geography and history, of the world. If you read the Silk Roads, okay, for those of you who does not know what the Silk Road is, just a basic definition, of the same. Silk Road is a very old route. It's a 1500,000 years old route, which which connects the entire world, okay, via trade routes. So Silk Road is basically a 8,000 9,000 kilometer trade route which connects the most important ports, and industries, or let's say manufacturing units, okay, in the particular world. So earlier, when there was no conveyance facilities done, People used to use these silk routes, to travel from one place to another. The best, the most efficient routes developed by the humans till now, and one of the major reasons for the development of the civilization as well. If right now we are aware of the American, of the Britain, of the French culture, they are aware of us, it's because of the connectivity and the internationalization and the trade, which happened. And how it connects to communication is, it talks about the development of these routes, as you can see, and the trade ports and the channels. And how it happened is because people were open to communication. When you read this book, you will find it out. People were open to communication with people who were outside their areas. And that is how, they developed, the silk routes around the world. Still, if you go to places, you will find at least one or two roads called the silk roads, which connects from one place to the another. And these are not new routes, these are old routes which are traced back, okay, to some Persian civilization, okay, or let's say 1 BCE or 1 century. That is how old these routes are. And how it connects to communication, just I said, people kept themselves open to communicate to people, outside their area, outside their region. That is how the Persians connected, okay, with the Chinese civilization, okay, or they connected with the Japanese civilization, and so on and so forth. The world developed, right? Some of the oldest civilizations, okay, on our planet, how they developed communication, very important. Another book, okay, this is a classic, I have to tell you all. This is a classic book for communication again. So I'm just trying to, reinforce the importance of communication for all of you. You are not aware of. Communication seems like a very simple term, which we use in our daily lives. But if you see to the depth of it, and if you read a lot of books and articles, which are out there, in this particular world, you'll come to know, how much importance has been placed on these things directly or indirectly over the last 100 or 200 years. And this is another book, which you must have to read. It's a fantastic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Again, a classic book, for over 75 to 100 years in the market, written by Dale Carnegie, a very, very popular author again. Okay, this book has again been a bestseller, changed millions of lives. You can search and you can find everything about this book if you search on Google. If you can purchase and read this book. Communication skills can lead to wonders is the basic crux, of this particular book, which has been there on the screen. And it's an evergreen book which has been there for hundreds of years, as I told you. It has been, I think, from 1925 or 27, the book is still there. Since then it's still there till today. So you can understand, how good and how amazing, the particular book can be. Whatever is the communication tactics or the art of communication I'm trying to explain to you today is basically a reference of this book only. Whatever is the art of communication, I'll explain you during the last, or during the end, of the webinar, is basically a reference of this book only, which you will not find on Google. Google doesn't give you all this information. You have to read it on your own, right? So again, these are the two three books, I just wanted you all to introduce, it to all of you, so that you can read it whenever you have time. And yeah, you can gain some, useful insights on your own as well. Okay. And what does book say? I've also written a summary here, for all of you on the screen. Basically, how communication skills can lead to wonders is the crux of this book. So doing a breadcrumb navigation, what we just did in the last 5 to 10 minutes, I explained you what communication is, and I gave you certain references. Key communication as a skill has a lot more things, than just a simple talking, etc., what we always say, right? Again, some basic pointers as importance of communication, which you can find everywhere, is, it's an important developer for interpersonal skills. IP skill is interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill is, again, the verbal communications you do, how to talk, the mannerism, the body language, right? What to speak, what not to speak, negotiation, convincing power, orientation skill, presentation skill. All these things, comes under interpersonal skills. Okay. Displays individual personality, right? If you are a good communicator, it tells a lot about your personality as well, that you have a lot of confidence, you have good presentation skills. This person, this girl, this guy can stand anywhere, and give a speech to thousands or 2,000 people, at once. Communication speaks a lot about you, Yeah, and a lot more, about where you come from. If you are a good communicator, you have a lot of things, which comes handy, with it. A good convincing power, whenever you want a deal to be struck, or whenever you want, people to do what you want. If you are a good communicator, if you are a good orienter, right, everything comes, in handy along with it. One thing connects to another, and it goes on and on and on, like that, right? Any other importance of communication you feel other than this, you have in mind? Because I've written etc here, right? So there's still a scope for more if we see. So, seeing that there's still a scope for more for communication, I want to know from all of you, what do you think about communication? Any other importance, which you think is, can be written down, or can be discussed in this particular webinar? Oh, good evening to all of you. I'm just seeing the messages as of now. Thank you. Good evening. Well, the host is Harsha Agarwal. It's me. I've also conducted many other webinars with the Homework app and team, the recording of which is available in the YouTube channel of the application. So, if some teachers are new and have joined the webinar for the first time, no worries. You will get used, to our practices, and processes. That's not to worry anything. So, am I clear everything which I said till now? Like, it's clear to everyone, the book reviews, the references, the importance of communication. Any doubts on this? Okay, Sonam ji has a response. Bridging the gap between two people to understand the thought process. Exactly, ma'am. Definitely. We discussed the same, in the definition of communication, yeah? That, it's not only about speaking, but also, yeah, receiving information, giving feedback, understanding people, making them understand our thoughts, speaking things in the right manner. Listening is also communication, right? It's a way of conveying the messages. Yes, exactly, exactly. We discussed the same, in the definition of communication, yeah? To bring someone to a comfort zone with whom we are communicating. Very important. Yes, very important. Deep G, actually, all the recordings we have now uploaded in the YouTube channel. So if you check the channel today, everything is there, ma'am. The last 8 to 9 webinars which I took, I'm pretty sure those recordings are there. I just checked yesterday only. So just check once again, and I really hope you find it. Yeah. Active listening, exactly, Kanchanji. Yes, that is what we discussed. Yes, active listening, very important. Open mindedness, yes. Art of expressing ourselves, yes, definitely. We have to be very Prashantji, competency based questions webinar too. Everything is uploaded in the YouTube channel, sir, ma'am. Please do check. I checked on my own actually yesterday, so I'm pretty sure all the webinars are there. Just check once again, and if you have any doubts, you can return back to us. Yeah, no worries. All right. YouTube link, Lavanya ji, YouTube link. Okay, I'll share during the end of the webinar. You can go to the link and subscribe to the Homework app channel, everyone, and then you can see all the recordings from there. Yeah, that works. Bridging of thoughts, definitely good meeting. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Use of correct medium, yes. All right, thank you so much for the responses, right? So the last 20 minutes, we were very productive for us, because we discussed a lot of things, on what is communication, the importance of the same, certain book references. If some of you have missed it, I'll just quickly run through those slides. I referenced, the 3 books for communication, and requested all of you to please do refer it, whenever you have time. Again, these are not Google images. These are images which I have clicked on my own. You can see my hands here. So yeah, those were the books, and then we discussed the importance of communication. Okay. Oh, thank you, Deepji. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, sir. See, that is why it's very important, Deepji, that you have important communication skills, because it has an impact of people. If right now 300 or 350 people are listening to me, it's because of my communication skills, the way I communicate, the way I communicate ideas one after the another. There's a lot of things, which are there in communication, and there are books as well. People have written books, on that. And those are the bestsellers till today, because this it's just not about speaking is something which has to be understood. Yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shobna ji. Thank you, Niti ji. That's really kind of all of you. Thank you. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, I have another some examples, before I move on to the art, of communication, about which the webinar, is today, right? Before that, another some examples, of the same is communication skills can lead to wonders. Your communication skills can make you famous. Your communication skills can give you a space anywhere around the world. Your communication space can make you rich from rags to riches. Their story of many people who have rose in this world today because of their communication skill. And the first man today, which I look up to a lot, is Sandeep Maheshwari. Do you know anyone, Sandeep Maheshwari? Oh, okay. Rimpiji knows. All right. Rimpiji knows. Oh, thank you, Ruksarji. Okay. Sandeep Maheshwari, I think everybody knows him, right? Charming man, good communication skills, clear thought process, and a great motivator and influencer. Especially when I was a student, I think Sandeep G was one of the people, who saved me, who actually saved a lot of students, right? Exactly. Motivational speaker. Everybody knows him. Yeah. You should do much. You follow him. He is awesome. He's awesome, actually. So first is Sandeep Maheshwari, another very great example, of a good communicator. If you think Sandeep ji is a good motivator, he is a good motivator not because he's Sandeep Maheshwari or he has a clear thought process. He is a good motivator because he's a good communicator. Okay, if he communicates well, he communicates in the right speech, in the right tune, and that is why he's a great influencer. Okay, yeah, there are others as well, there are others as well. So you have to understand this one thing, that if he's famous today, if he's earning money today, okay, if he has a name today, it's because of his communication skills, the way he interacts with people, the way he listens to people, the way he understands people, all comes under communication skills, right? Another person, how many of you know Steve Harvey? Hi, Sujata ji. Good evening. Okay, Shivani ji knows. How many of you know Steve Harvey? Even if you don't know, it's fine. Just say a yes or a no. How many of you know Steve Harvey? Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. Steve Harvey, again, as you all know, has been a popular comedian. With comedian, he has also been a great host, and with a great host, he has also have some instances, where he has given philanthropic, that is motivation speeches, which are good, for people, right? Yeah, even as an anchor, yes, he has been a host as well. Yeah, Steve Harvey, again, why is he so famous? What do you think, is in him? Is it because of his looks? No, it's not. Is it because, of, let's say, anything, because of his Steve Harvey, etc. Right? Listen to Steve Harvey once, he's a very good communicator. Again, communication skills which rose people, in this world. Many examples. Kapil Sharma. Oh, come on. Who doesn't know Kapil Sharma? I think he was the guy, who was on the TV in every household and every Saturday or every Sunday. It was Kapil Sharma, Comedy Nights with Kapil. I think you all know that show, right? He's the best comedian exactly India has ever seen. He is actually he is fan really. Even I am a fan of him, and that is why I took his picture here. Kapil Sharma. He was actually very poor. He is a story of how rags to riches, can be done because of the communication skills. Nobody was accepting his show. Colors, Colors. I think if you remember, his show used to come on Colors. Colors gave him a chance, because of his communication skills, his comedy skills, right? Exactly. They all accepted him because of his communication skills. The way he was, way he was with stars, the way he was with people, the way he was confident, his interpersonal skills, his personality, his body language. It used to make us all laugh, right? Those are all communication skills, verbal, non-verbal skills. Kapil Sharma is another example. Manish Paul. How many of you know Manish Paul? He is also a person who rose because of his communication skills. Hosted a lot of award nights and comedy nights as well, Manish Paul. Exactly. He's a TV actor as well, right? He rose again because of his, communication skills. Because of his skills, he became a very popular host in the TV. Every show you turn to, Manish Paul is the host. Dance India Dance, right? DID. Jhalak Dikhla Ja. He used to be there, right? Exactly. He's an Indian television presenter. And then he became very famous among the households, because of his, communication skills. Again, a host, Manish Paul, right? When you think of Manish Paul, you think, host. That is the first thing, which comes to the mind. Yeah. Very important again. Bharti Singh, again, a comedian, rose in the TV, rose in life, very comes from a very poor family, became famous because of her body language, her childish facial expressions, and communication skills. I think all of you know her as well. She came in the couple show. She's a host herself in many of the award functions with Deepika and Ranveer Singh. She has many comedy instances which you can see on Instagram and other spaces. Yes, good sense of humor. Yeah. Why? Why do you think? Exactly. Why do you think? It's because of our communication skills, right? So I just wanted to give you all these examples to just reinforce, and make you understand, right? Key yes, definitely, Kanchanji. To understand that how communication skills, have held so many people, up top in this world. How many of you know Jimmy Fallon? Anybody knowing Jimmy Fallon? Oh, Shivani ji knows. That's great, ma'am. Many people don't know him, so yeah. Okay, that's great. Jimmy Fallon again. Oh my God, I'm a fan of his show. The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon. It's perfect. It's awesome actually. The way he is, his expressions, a popular host. It's because of the way he is. Everything again, communication skills. In short, right? Jimmy Fallon, Tonight Show. Again, very important, very good show. If you haven't, do try it, do watch it. Yes, Bina Ji, Oprah Winfrey. There are many examples. Take these examples, you will understand how these people have used, manipulated their communication skills, and they are here on TV, right? So those were the examples, all we discussed right now was just to have a little fun with all of you, and to also make you understand why communication skills are so important, and how many people are there, in front of our eyes, who became famous, who rose to the edges, of the world, just because of their communication skills, good listening, good speaking, good body language, good facial expressions, everything again comes under it, right? Taking good feedback, open to criticisms. There's so many things which comes under the same arena. Okay, so just to make you understand, okay, that it's very very important, that the art of communication has to be learned by all. Now, different modes of communication, again, there are three types. There's visual, there is non-verbal, and there's verbal, right? Visual is when you see and you learn. Okay, for example, the homework app, right? The homework app is a very good example of visual communication. Okay, wherein it has, the interactive quiz, or let's say some badges, it displays for students, some graphics, some banners, etc. All these things, help you in visual communication, and that is why the app is so effective for students who learn via the application, because it uses all the psychological modes, of things which can have maximum impact on a child's brain. Visual communication is the first thing. You see and you learn. Non-verbal communication, right now, if you all can see me on the cam, I'm speaking, right? I'm displaying a certain body language. I'm making gestures with my hand. Okay, I'm behaving in a certain manner, right? uh Lavanya ji, just a minute. Ma'am, the screen is already shared. Oh yeah, Rupinder ji, thank you so much. Actually, Deep ji, from the very in the very beginning, I told, that this webinar is more about, teachers. Okay, it's more of a teacher training session actually. So we usually keep webinars, which will be beneficial for students, but the communication should be mastered by the teachers first. And if you master it as a teacher, it will be clearly having an impact on your students as well. And that is the basic agenda, of the webinar, right? Yes, Ruksarji, definitely. All right. Thank you, Deepji, for the response. Lavanya ji, my screen. Okay, just let me reply to Lavanya ji. I think she can't see my screen. So already shared. Yeah. Okay. So again, I was talking about non-verbal communication, right? So the way I am, the way my body language is, my hand is, the way I stand, when I meet someone, the way I, the times, the number of times I blink my eyes, the way I smile, the way I don't, I know when to smile, when not to smile. If I meet someone, I have a basic sense that, okay, if I'm talking to this person, I have to keep my hands back, or I have to keep my hands folded. So body language, non-verbal communication, your eyes, your smile, your ears, your the way you move your body, okay, or the way you flip your hair when you talk to someone, it all conveys something to the other person, right? Doesn't it? If you behave in a certain manner, doesn't it convey something to the other person? It does, right? If let's say one of you, okay, let's say yeah, let's say Deep Ji. Okay, let's say Deep Ji and Mohan Ji comes to my house, okay, for a lunch, right? Now Deep Ji and Mohan Ji came to my house for a lunch, and being the host, I am kind of inviting them, with a very dull and gloomy mood. There's no smile on my face, and I'm just coming like, oh, hi Deep Ji, hi Rana Ji, how are you, and hi Mohan Ji. Okay, come sit, have lunch. How will it feel to them? Tell me. Even if I don't see anything, if I keep my face without a smile, they'll understand, ki, okay, Harsha ka man nahi hai. Harsha didn't want me to come to the lunch. Forcefully, she had made lunch, and basically she had given me the lunch to eat because, I have come here. So yeah, I have to gulp down the lunch and I have to go back home, right? That will be basically, the attitude of Mohanji and Deepji. Yeah. Or exactly. So body language again, non-verbal is very important. If Kapil Sharma didn't made, all those funny faces, if Bharti Singh didn't speak in all those childish languages, would we able to laugh? Or would these people uh, uh, be able to make us laugh? I don't think so. Yeah, it's because of the non-verbal communication skills, which they have mastered, which makes everybody laugh. It matters a lot. Exactly. Okay. All right. Yeah, Sumanaji, definitely. Your gestures play a vital role, yes. And then comes the verbal. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Talking about verbal communication, right? Again, verbal is speech. When you use your words, when you use speech, it is verbal communication, right? What I am doing right now, what I do in all the other webinars is verbal communication. Okay. I use all three kinds of communication, to be honest. I use visual because I use, the slides and the Canva and everything, which I made you people see so that you learn. I use non-verbal, my body language, my gestures, and then I use a verbal communication to, speak and to make you understand about the topic, right? That is how, an amalgamation or the balance between the three goes. Okay. Again, moving ahead. Okay. Communication tricks, and tactics, right? So it's already 4:32 p.m., right? And I want to let you all know that right now what we discussed is, some of the references, examples, the importance of communication, and why it's important, right? Why it's a skill, and how why it's important to master it, right? The next 15 to 20 minutes of the webinar will be focused on key art of communication, the right way of doing communication. Everybody says, and if you go and type on Google will give you 100 ways, but usme se kuch kaam ka nahi hota, to be honest. I'm very sorry, but yeah, it's not effective. It's not worth it. And right now, whatever pointers I'll give you as the art of communication, you will not find on Google, because that is from a book. I've taken reference of a book for the same. The book is reliable, has sold a million copies. I'm not lying, okay? It has sold a million copies, has changed lives of millions of people, and has been there since hundreds of years. That is why I've referred this particular book to tell you about the art which they have talked about in the book. In the book, there are around 18 to 20 arts. I've talked about the most important six or seven of them, right? Which is the book? I'll show you once again if any of you have missed. This is the book, everyone. Right now, the 6 7 pointers of the art of communication, which I'll talk about, is from this book, right? Uh, it's a very good book. Must read. Do read it whenever you get a chance. It's not boring. It's not fictional. It's someone's real life work. Hundreds of years old, evergreen book, again, still there. Many people refer it. Businessmen refer it, right? And you should refer it too, because it's something which can actually help you to achieve, what you want to achieve for a very long time. Yeah. Exactly, Jasmine ji. Yes, totally understandable, ma'am. They're not. To be honest, ma'am, the school's curriculum, is very theoretical. If right now we see the Indian school curriculum, it's very theoretical in nature. Everybody teaches physics, bioscience, but who will teach this kind of skills? There is no class on communication, there's no class on psychology, basic things, it's not there. There's no class on emotional regulation. Who will teach these things to students? I don't know why, but um the curriculum is, just very very theoretical in nature. I feel schools or the government should take a step, towards these things as well. It's very very important. Rana ji, oh, that's great. Oh, hats off to you, Rana ji. That's great. All right, so this is a book I will be taking reference for, right? Just quickly moving ahead. Oh my god, I moved a lot ahead. Okay. Yeah. So communication tricks and tactics, this is where we have to start, right? Okay, disclaimer, as I already told you, the content here is not Google stuff. It's totally a non-Google stuff. So please don't expect to find it on Google. It's something, which we take it from various sources and it's not there, right? Pay attention, take screenshots, refer to it. It will definitely help you because millions of people are examples of the same that it has helped them. So it's reliable in nature as well. Okay. First thing, if you want to gather honey, don't kick the beehive. Okay. That's the first lesson for you and for the art of communication. So if I want to tell you कि पहला art of communication क्या है आज का वो ये है ठीक है you have to understand when you're talking to human beings okay when you talk to me when I talk to you we are humans of emotions we are creatures of emotions not logic when you talk about something we think emotionally first and then the logic prevails over the mind when you deal with other people you should try and understand why one does what he does and how can we present it effectively so that we don't end up criticizing complaining about the same a very popular saying by Benjamin Franklin, President. I will speak ill of no one and speak all good I know of everybody. Okay. Giving you an example how to implement this, okay, is that oh all right, all right. I just read the chart, everyone. That's great. That's great. All right. So giving an example of what this slide tries to convey, right? Whenever you talk to anyone okay anyone whenever you talk to teachers, let's say if you are a 9 or 10 standard teacher or a 5th or 6th standard teacher, you go and sit in the faculty and talk to other teachers, right? Whenever you talk to other teachers or let's say other children, okay, you have to learn to speak or to formulate your words in a manner which doesn't end up criticizing them, or complaining about their work, right? There's a way of speaking. So let's say if you and another faculty gets into a little argument, right, about something, about a question paper or about anything, uh, rather than saying, ma'am, you're wrong here, or criticizing people on face, maybe you should have told it that, ma'am, I understand your point of view and I know why you are saying this. But what I think is, if we do this in this manner, maybe we'll end up making a great question paper which will help students later. But if you want to include this particular question, we can include this particular question, but formulate it a little differently, right? Now, how does this sound? How does the first one sound when you say, ma'am, you're wrong here, and ma'am, we can't do this, you're not understanding? And how does the second one sound? Which one is better, the first or the second one? Second one, of course, second one, right? Why second one? Because in second one, when I communicated, there was, a respect which I was showing to the other faculty, to the other person, right? There was a consideration which I was keeping in mind ki, okay, if the other person is saying something, unka bhi to kuch perspective hoga na. If this is my perspective, she also has a perspective, right? And even if I have a lot of ego as a teacher. Oh, thanks, Balaji. Yes, yes, I'll go slow. I'll go slow. No worries, no worries. Okay, exactly. Giving importance to her ideas, right? Not only here, I can give you examples of family, right? We all have a family. Most of you are married as well, right? And most of you have children as well. Okay. Talk to your husband, okay, or whenever you talk to your children, कितनी बार ऐसा होता है ना कि altercations हो जाते हैं. There is altercation, yeah, and there is a fight. But have you ever thought कि if you manipulate your words a little, you can manipulate the other person? It's true. That is how it works. You can manipulate the other person with your words, the way you say things. Don't ever speak in a criticizing manner. Speak, criticize, but formulate it, well. If let's say there's a fight about, something key, let's say there's a fight between, the mom and the child, okay. If the child is like, being very, very stubborn, okay, ki I want this, I don't want to go to school, I want to go hang out, with my group of friends, who smoke and drink, and he's not listening. As a mom, as a dad, rather than slapping, which is a traditional Indian family's way of handling people, rather than slapping the child, shouting at the child, defaming the child in front of hundreds of friends, can't you just make the child sit for 10 minutes and tell him, I know smoking and drinking seems cool. I know you want to hang out with those kind of people. I know even when I was of your age, I wanted to do those things. And I did also for some time. But the very important point here is, even if you do that, you have to understand, that there are some repercussions which comes with the same. If they end up in trouble, you will end up in trouble too, or things like that, which goes on, and on and so forth, right? Rather than this, if you slap and beat the child, if you push him out of the home or push her out of the home, will that solve any problem? You tell me. At a certain age, children go into these things, right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, alcohol, all these things. Age hai, they can't help it. No, you have to understand. So this point is all about perspective. Okay, understanding. Criticize karna hai, you do it, but you do it in the right manner. There's a way of speaking. That is the art. If you want to gather honey, if you want to have the results, you don't kick the beehive, and make the honey hungry. If you make the bees angry, they will just sting you, they will not listen to you. Remember that. So know how to take out the honey and also not disturb the bee. That is an art, right? I hope this point is clear to everyone. All right, all right. Moving to the next, the biggest secret. Okay, now what is the biggest secret? As human beings, again a psychologically tested point, as human beings, we love to be complimented a lot. Even if you say don't compliment me, no need. We are human beings. We dress, we dress acha. I dress good. I put on lipstick, I put on makeup, I go to a party to look good and be complimented and appreciated, right? Deep down, everybody has a desire for validation, for respect. People should see me, people should notice me, people should talk about me, right? Compliments is something which is very important. Deep down, everybody wants it. But as said, by Abraham Lincoln, everyone likes a compliment. But also, you should be beware, of flattery. What is flattery? Telling people exactly what they think of themselves. Now, again, this point is very, very interesting. Okay, you should, first of all, as a person, you should never flatter anyone. Okay, even if you want to get some work done, right? Resort to appreciation, compliments. Okay, don't resort to flattery, right? What is flattery? Let's say when you go to school, okay, when you go to school and you want some work to be, and you want something from the principal. Just a very basic example. You go to the principal, right, and you talk about, okay, something, because you want that thing to be done. You start flattering the principal, that ma'am, nobody is better than you in this world, or nobody is better than you in this entire city. It's because of you the school is so high up. It's because of you the children are performing so well. This is what is flattery. You flatter a lot to the person sitting, in front of you. You just tell them what they think about themselves, or what they want to hear about themselves. That is not appreciation. Appreciation comes from the heart. It comes from knowingness, it comes from the heart. It's not false, it's something which is truthful. Compliments. Rather than this, if you compliment her, ma'am, today you're looking very, very, good. I like your sari. And also, I wanted to let you know that, with all the teachers of this school, it's you who, on the top as a pillar, has always supported our students to grow. This is what is a compliment. This is what is appreciation. Honest, comes from inside, not flattery. You just say whatever, she wants to hear, right? That is very important. When you talk to the other person, even if you are trying to compliment, even in classes, if you talk to a student, you appreciate them, you compliment them, but you don't flatter them too much. If you flatter them, pehli baat, the first thing, other students will develop a rivalry towards that student. Okay, always when ma'am comes, she starts flattering him, too much compliments, too much appreciation for no reason. He does not even deserve it. And because of this, the other students will start losing interest in your class. So very important is exactly appreciation and compliments work as a prize. As I saw the last response when someone told me this. Okay, yeah, yeah, definitely. Quality of words, flattering is buttering. Exactly, Sarika ji. Flattering is buttering. You shouldn't do that. People know when you're flattering them. It's just selfish. Compliments, it comes from the heart. It's like, wow, when you hear it, you feel like, oh, yes, nice. It should be like that. It should be subtle, the communication. It should be smooth. Okay. So second thing which we learned is flattery and compliments ke beech ka difference. There's a difference between the both, and flattery should be avoided. Okay. Yeah. The biggest secret. The third thing in the art of communication is think what they think. Very, very important. Okay. Now this is an art. Okay. Think what they think. See, everybody has to understand, okay, how the human mind works. You should know that if you are thinking in this manner, in the manner A, the other person can think about it in manner B, and the other person can think about it in manner C, right? Three different people can think in three different manners, right? If I show you right now, something, let's say, okay, I'm just stopping, screen share for once, and let's do this exercise right now. Can everybody see me on the screen? I hope everybody can see me. Just a yes or a no. Okay. Can you see this book? Can you read the title? APG Abdul Kalam, The Righteous Life. Okay. Now there are 300 teachers on call right now, right? You tell me, what is your perspective regarding this book? What is this book about? I know it's about APJ Abdul Kalam, but what is the crux of this book? One word: appreciation hai, integrity hai, ki self help hai. What is this book about? I want your perspective, and you will see all 300 people have different perspectives, about the same book which I'm holding on call. What is your perspective? What do you think this book is about? Motivational, okay. Success story of APG, okay. Inspirational, okay. Biography, okay. Fine. Anything else? Devotional towards this work, okay. Success story, okay. Rumaji. Anything else? Inspirational, okay. Dedication, communication, positivity, great personality. All right. You don't even need 300 responses. Out of the 30 responses which I have received, each and every response is somewhat different from the other, isn't it not? Right? That is how people are different. You have to understand this one thing, okay? Get it into your brains. People are different. Okay, somebody said honesty and sincerity. Jitendra ji said that. Okay, so it's very important that if one can think what the other person wants and the way they think or the way they can think, then no deal situation can go out of hand. When striking a deal, make the other person feel the utmost importance and how the same can help them more than it can help us. So this point is about uh, oh, it's 6:48. Okay, I'll send the attendance link by 7. Just give me some more time, okay, to just complete the topic, and I'll quickly run through all the slides. All right. So basically, think what they think. The point is about that, when you want to get a deal, from the other person, right? If you are a particular, let's say, teacher, okay, and you want to get something, from the other professors, maybe any help, anything. First, you should think that when you are going to ask them for this particular thing, what is in it which will help them as well. We are human beings. We are selfish creatures, right? Anything which is asked of us, anything which is asked to us, we first think कि मेरा benefit क्या होगा? What is my benefit? Why should I do it? Or if I've done it this time, we should do it the next. What should she do for me the next time? Right? That is what. Okay, so think what they think is, again, you arouse in other person an eager want. Okay, that the author himself has said, Dale Carnegie. If you want something to get done, first tell them what is the benefit they are getting if they do this. Okay, that is another kind of communication skill, negotiation skill you should learn. Okay, be genuinely interested in others. That is the fourth art of communication. Okay, when you talk to someone, when you talk to anybody about your problems, okay, don't just be a very good speaker, but also be a good listener to them, right? um, Dale Carnegie, who is the author, he actually said this one very good line which I have put it here: you can make many more friends in 2 years by being interested in them than you can in 2 years by trying other people to get interested in you. Very important. If you want to connect to people, okay, if you want to make friends, if you want to connect to your students, right, first you have to learn how to take interest in other people, कि उनको क्या चाहिए, what they want, what interests them. And if you do that, the other people will automatically start liking you, and when they automatically start liking you, there'll automatically be a connectivity to develop hoga, right? So you can actually do this and make more people connect to you by being interested in them rather than trying all those people out there to take interest in you and connect with you. So it's you who have to make an effort, right? You have to remember people are selfish. That is how human brains work. All we are interested is ourselves, I do this, I want this, okay, I will do this. So you have to show interest in other people. Again, a very good means to connect with the other person, right? Fifth, smile. I think this is something you have heard, everywhere. It costs nothing, yeah, because actions speak louder than your words, right? A simple smile in the middle of any conversation, a simple smile, when you are trying to criticize someone also, can work wonders, and not make the person feel bad. A simple smile, doesn't do any harm, but saves you from a lot of trouble, in a lot of situations. A simple smile can make a boring presentation good. A simple smile can also make a fight, end in no time and make everything, good once again. Very important, the importance of a smile, because as you all know, actions again speak louder than the words, right? The sixth one is listen. Listening is very, very important, right? Every listener, as you can see the quote I have put here, every listener needs a listener themselves, right? If you are a listener to your friend's problem, to your student's problem, even you have to speak to someone, right? So you have to understand that if somebody is listening to me, they also as a listener wants a person to listen to them, okay? And when you listen to someone, make sure you have your 100% attention on what they are speaking. If let's say in your house, your child comes to talk to you in the morning, or your husband or your wife comes to talk to you, stop for 1 second, stop for 1 minute and tell them, oh, you want to say something, please go ahead. Listen to them, pay 100% attention. It makes the other person feel important. How can you ignore a person who has been coming and talk to you? If somebody is trying to talk to you and you're ignoring them, oh, I am doing my work, ha, bolo, I'm doing my work, bolo bolo bolo, is that a good way to talk? Oh my god, what kind of manners is that? It's not mannerism. So whenever someone comes to talk to you, stop for a moment, in your home, in your school, anywhere. That shows respect. And when someone sees that into you, they will respect you as a person. They will talk about you as a person. Oh, I went to talk to Harsha ma'am, and she was doing this particular webinar, but when I went to talk to her, she stopped for 2 minutes, she listened to me, she replied to me politely, and then she reverted back again. That is the kind of importance she attaches to me every time. Listen in the right manner, show the other person that they are important. That is how it works. Validation, human brain, it craves validation. You have to give it to them, okay? And the other thing, admit when you are wrong. People don't do this, admitting when you are wrong, okay? When we are right, then also we shouldn't shout at people and make them feel that okay, we are right, so you have to accept me. There's a way again of speaking, of communicating. It keeps you in check. It keeps your fights in check. Even when you are wrong, you should quickly admit the same to yourself and to others as well. So if somebody is trying to tell you that okay, you're wrong in this particular aspect, hey, you haven't spoken to me in that manner, it's not right, you should think about it. In your maybe stop for just 1 second and think about it. Okay, am I actually wrong? And if you are wrong, maybe put your ego. Ego is nothing. It's bullshit. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's bullshit. Ego is nothing. Keep your ego, even if it's stopping you. Think, if I don't say sorry right now, this can end my relationship, for years. This can end my relationship with my teachers, with my family for years. This can spoil things more and more. He or she might feel very, very bad. Is the person I love or is the person I connect with? It's my students whom I connect with, right? Think, admit when you are wrong, show some maturity in your relationships. Again, a very important art, of communication when you are in anger as well, right? We don't admit, even in class when you are wrong. Agar if you have written something wrong in the PPT, if you have spoken something wrong to students, go the next day and tell, I know I shouldn't have, but I'm very sorry, I spoke about this topic in this manner and it was not very, very right of me, or I gave you this information and this was not very correct or reliable, so here is the correct information today, and I'm very sorry for my conduct yesterday to all of you. Say sorry. no matter whether you are saying sorry to a 1 year old or a 2 year old or a 5 years old, sorry is a sorry. If they deserve it from your end, you have to say it, right? It's your responsibility. Nobody will come to say sorry for your mistakes. No, it's you who have to say it. If you don't say it now, you will regret it later. uh, People regret, whatever they have done through their entire life. So regret it later or say sorry right now, right? A simple smile and a simple sorry can do wonders, but people don't understand this. I don't know why. It's very simple. And yes, this is something, which I think you will very very enjoy. Get them to say a lot of yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Get them to say a lot of yeses. This is a psychology trick. This particular last point is a psychology trick. Whenever you are in a conversation with anyone, okay, uh, make sure कि in that conversation, the first 5 to 10 minutes, you make them say a lot of yes. Okay, you talk in a manner, you say things which makes them agree to your points. When the human brain starts agreeing to points initially, later on, if you ask the person anything, they'll agree to that as well. Chances are high that they will not say no to that as well, and they will give it a thought. It's a trick, to make people say yes. Avoid people saying a lot of no's in the beginning of the conversation. Talk about things wherein you both can connect, you both can find a common ground. Okay, when you find a common ground to talk about things, there will be a lot of yeses. Oh, you go to tennis, you go to play lawn tennis too. Oh yes, I go as well. Even I like to play badminton. Do you like it? Oh yeah, yeah, I used to play earlier. These kind of things. Make them say a lot of yeses initially. That is how the brain works. When you say a lot of yes and you agree initially, chances are high later on also you will connect with the person well, and they will agree to whatever you are demanding from them. Again, a communication skill, if done right, can actually do wonders. And yes, that is all from my side today. It's 6:57, and yeah, this is all about the art of communication and from my end. So yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the webinar. Sharing the attendance link right now in a few, and I'll just show you a short demo for the homework application, so that if someone of you don't know how to use it, you can actually use it. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jasmine ji. Thank you everyone. Oh, definitely, Kamalji. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. But yeah, sometimes, when we talk in our raw language, words like that do come out. But I'm really sorry, sir. No, no offense again. Very sorry. Uh, what is this? Okay. Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Somebody has made notes, yeah? Bala Kumarji. Oh my God. That's great. That's great. Recording will also be there. So everybody can also see the recording, and you can take, things from there as well. Yeah. Really hope you enjoyed the session. We'll be having some more, you know, good sessions, which makes you think and which makes you learn something, right? Because that's very very important as per my understanding. Interpersonal skills are something which can solve every problem before theoretical knowledge can. Yeah. All right. Okay, teachers, I'm stopped sharing my screen, and I'll share you the link for attendance right now, and I'll start with the homework app demo to just show you what the application has new for the other teachers. Just 2-3 minutes quickly. Okay. And yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll share the link right now in a moment. Okay, in the chat box, here is the link. Yeah. How betterly we can speak. Oh, definitely, Sonamji, definitely. I will run this topic to the team. And yeah, uh, we can have a session on that. Okay. Lalita ji, actually, I'm not allowed to share my presentation, but the recording of the same will be there on the YouTube channel, and you can see the recording. As of today only, the recording will be uploaded, and all the other recordings are also there. You can just check. And the form is here. Please fill by 7:10 p.m. Okay, I will keep the form open by 7:10 p.m. Fill it till then, because after that the team will not expect any more response. I'll not accept any more responses. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shivali ji. Thank you everyone for the comments. Means a lot actually. All right, I'll just quickly share my screen. And for all the new teachers who have joined the webinar for the first time, homework app, as you have joined the webinar via this medium, you will know that what are the new things, in the application, and yeah, how can you use it more effectively. Okay.
Recording in progress.
I hope all of you are filling the form. I'm very sorry, because of my poor internet connection, I was disconnected from the call. But yeah, I really hope you all are filling the form. Yeah. And you have to wait till 7:10 p.m., for the same. Also, homework have some new features as of now, like interactive quiz, competency based questions are on the way, which is again, very important for the CBSE syllabus, as we discussed in the NEP, webinar, right? So these things are there in the application. The application uses Bloom's taxonomy. It uses psychology based analytics, as I told you, communication, etc., etc. You have to check those out, things in the application, right? And yes, that's all from my end. WhatsApp group joining link, if you fill the form, ma'am, sir, you will get the link during the end of the form itself. In this form only, after you click the submit button, udari pe you will get a button for joining the WhatsApp. Just click on that button and you will join the WhatsApp. Oh, thank you, Neetu ji. Means a lot, ma'am. Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bala Kumar ji. Means a lot again. Jitendra ji, the form which we have sent, no, you have to fill that form, and during the end of the form only, you have to click the WhatsApp joining button. Oh, thank you. Means a lot, ma'am. Really means a lot, Neetu ji. I definitely know, ma'am, you're speaking from the heart. I know. Thank you, Shobna ji. Means a lot. Means a lot. Okay, people are getting confused about the form. See, you have to fill the form. Okay, I'll just display the form on my screen. Okay, just give me a 1 minute. I'll just display the form on my screen and you will know. Okay, teachers, I'm displaying the type form on my screen. You will see how to fill the form and how to join the WhatsApp. Okay, I'm just screen sharing. Just a minute. Can you all see my screen? The form, everyone? Definitely, Monica ji, understandable. But whatever I told you today, is something which was referenced, from a book actually. That is what the art of communication stands for. You can't speak anything more on this particular topic, because some topics are restricted to certain pointers, right? And I'm completely agreed with your point, ma'am. But art of communication is a very basic topic, and you can't really speak much more on the same, right? Even if you read, books and you read blogs and everything, there's a certain limit up to which you can explain or speak on the topic. So yeah, that is from my end, but I hope you enjoy the webinar, ma'am. Okay, here is the form on my screen. You click on the start button, you type your name, that's Harsha Agarwal, let's say. You click on female, I click on okay. I, let's say, type a random phone number here. Okay, click on okay. Fill the form, just see how I am filling the form. Okay, you fill the form and then you join the WhatsApp group from here only. I'll click like webinar one, let's say school name, principal, let's say okay, no, okay, yes, okay, science, okay, okay, submit. Okay, can you all see the screen right now? As you click the submit button, join WhatsApp group now. Can you see this button, everyone, on the screen? Thank you, Shanali ji. Jagdeep ji, the link is in the chat box. In the chat box, I'm copy pasting it again. Fill by 7:10 p.m. because no more responses will be accepted after that. And when you fill the form, can you see on my screen? There's a join WhatsApp group now. You have to join WhatsApp group from here. Okay, join WhatsApp group now. As you can see, fill the form and you all can leave the webinar then.